you attending the interviews. This is going to be a practical job interview secret course that's going to talk about how you can attend interviews and ace your interview to the fullest potential, right? So I want you I want you to actually check out this amazing huge opportunity that you have in you. The potential, the motivation is here within you, within your heart. You're going to burst it out and attend a job interview and get those success results soaring. Now, I'm Srinidhi Ranganathan, once again introducing. I'm the founder of FirstLookAI.com. FirstLookAI.com, right? FirstLook AI.com is India's first artificial intelligence powered digital marketing company. Now what we do there is we automate digital marketing with robots, right? When you do digital marketing yourself, that's manual work. When robots do all the work for you, that is artificial intelligence in digital marketing, right? So that's how we are going to bring forth a revolution in India. Okay, now coming back to this course, in fact I've been researching on a lot of interviews, interviewers and job interviews that my students have actually attended, and through them I've learned this amazing secrets through practical experience. It's completely practical that we are going to teach you here, right? So even though we talk about sliders, we are going to talk about practical we are going to show you scenes which will actually that you are going to take it to heart and implement the technologies, right? So I want you to enroll in this course right now, right? And you're going to soar high to the fullest potential. Once again, this is Srinidhi Ranganathan, soaring you to success. So getting a job is very hard, guys, right? It's really tough when because of the competitive job market that is in place, and when people go for those job interviews, you never know whether you get success results or not. But in fact, imagine right now, just focus and imagine that you got a job, right? So somebody has called you, maybe the HR consultant or maybe a recruiting consultant has just called you right now and said, hello, any kind of requirement is there, right? Any kind of requirement. Just imagine some kind of a job requirement right now that you have, and he or she says, are you free to attend an interview? Because we have gone through your profile on Naukri, Times Group, or whatever it is, Time Jobs. We have gone through your profile in IIM Jobs. We have gone through your profile in LinkedIn. We have checked about your background and all this stuff, and they just tell you to actually go ahead and attend an interview. What slot they'll be giving you is told there, right? And then you decide that you're going for the interview, right? You decide, you're very firm that you want a job, you got a interview in hand. What you are supposed to do right now, right? How you will take through this process of A to Z, from A to Z, how you will attend the interview, what is the research that you're going to do, how you will ace a job interview. That is this course right now, what you're watching. So let's take this up in kind of a small story. Let's move on into how you can actually go from step A to the last step, right? I think we are covering about 16 steps or 15 steps in this course, and we'll go through them one by one, right, from the next video. So the first step which I want you to take is do your homework. Right? So now you've got a call, now you're looking at the company's website, you're doing a kind of a research for the company, right? Research on the particular company. The first thing you got to do is check the company's vision and mission, right? And you got to check that, because the CEO would have thought about where the company would be headed in the next 5 years, or either 10 years or a decade or whatever it is. So find out what is the vision of the company, how you can contribute, and typically what are the company's goals, what are they trying to achieve, right? Check out their competitors on Owler.com. Owler is a great tool, OWLER.com. You can check out the competitors, you can check out the revenue that the company is making. You can check out, who is the next in line kind of a competitor for their company. Because suppose you are not getting a job in this company, you can always go to your competitor company and actually join. They are also in the same field, same expertise they would have, right? So it depends on what you want to do, and the goals and orientation that you have to do, the kind of training that you have to do yourself in order to start this off matters the most, right? So first is do your homework, right? You got to actually go ahead and figure out that you will be a game changer for your company, right? For that company you're going to attend the interview, that is going to be your company, your baby, that you're going to handle, right? That's how it is all going to work. Do your homework. That is the first tip. The next really important step is actually to prepare with maximum effort, right? So you're going to put in all your effort out there to actually sum up the company's exact high level about the company's competitors, the company's revenue that you have got through Owler.com, right? And you're also going to check similarweb.com, similarweb, SIMILAR.com. Similarweb, web.com, right? Similarweb.com, and you're going to figure out the company's analytics, how many people are browsing the site, whether they are browsing through social media, whatever it is, right? So that you'll get an idea of the company's traffic, website traffic. Whatever interview you are attending, figure out whether the company's website actually gets traffic, so that it's a startup company or a medium-sized enterprise, you'll figure out. And then jot down questions in a sheet or a notebook about that company that you're willing to ask questions in front of the interview. You're going to ask questions, right? What kind of questions you want to ask, that you have to jot down in a notebook neatly. You can also use a Word document for that, correct? And the last but not the least, you have to figure out the technology of the company's tools and products. To do that, go to BUILT with.com, WITH.com. That will help you to figure out the technology that your company's products or websites, that whatever their company you're going to interview on is working on, right? So all the technologies will be shattered completely, that you'll be able to figure out what is that, right? So that is the second tip. Prepare with maximum effort. Do the best. Do the best you can, and definitely you will shine. The third point what I'm talking about is practice in front of a mirror, right? So you have a mirror in front of you, maybe you have in your home, or maybe even some people, my students have told me they have practiced in the bathroom mirror. But anyways, don't use that. Go to your bedroom or a room and wear a suit like this, or wear a good suit, or wear a good shirt, and stand in front of the mirror and imagine that you're speaking to a person who is conducting the interview for you, and then start to speak, right? And start to speak very confidently, very with awe, with enthusiasm that you have, with the great passion that you have. Start to speak, right? This will slow down all your nervousness that you have in your brain, right? This will slow down whatever kind of anxiety that you have. It will drive away the stress, right? So the complete stress will be turned off from you, right? What will be turned on? Confidence will be turned on, right? So this step will help you to typically make sure that you are very confident about yourself, about the company, about the job, about the industry, about the competitors that your company has, about the revenue that it has, about say what kind of employees, what kind of the team is actually working in the company, what kind of a job role that you expect in the particular company to work on, and also what kind of career that you are going to land in, right? So this career may change your life, may alter your life, may also be the game changer for yourself, right? So that is the step that I'm talking about. So this point, what I'm talking about is fourth point is update your social profiles. you got to update your social profiles. Why should you update your social profiles? Because you don't want the interviewer to actually catch you, going to a cricket match, or the interviewer to catch you going to a theater or a movie, right? So keep it very professional, or you create one more account that you share with your interviewer, where you will have to, put about your career goals, or you're attending an interview, or you want to, what are your dreams about? You can put that in a separate social profile that you can. So people, my students have told me that while they are going to attend an interview, they typically give their social profiles, like Facebook, or they have different profiles, it seems. So for Facebook, they create a different profile. For say Twitter, they create a different profile. They already have a personal profile, but they are going to create a different profile here just to showcase that in the resume, right? So if you have taken my other courses, when it comes to resume, I keep forgetting. That's one point that's coming up later, I think. But resume, when I talk about the resume, we already have one more course, right? That we are coming up with that. It's going to be very live, live very soon, right? So this is on artificial intelligence resume building. How do you build a resume? Using artificial intelligence technology, right? That is completely going to change the world and shake the education industry and the career industry. That I'll tell about that later. So typically, where was I was in updating the social profiles. So yeah, please make sure you update your social profiles before you actually attend the interview. One more thing I want to tell you is, in LinkedIn, make sure the description is perfect. It is SEO optimized. That means it's content optimized and search engine optimized, search engine friendly. And also make sure you have an attractive profile photo, right? In a suit or something like that. That will help you to stand out from the crowd, right? The fifth point is know the job very well. So if you're going to a job of a programmer, right? Typically you're going to join as a programmer or a content writer. Let's take an example of a content writer now instead of a programmer. That seems to be far industry related, right? Because programmers, there are a lot of programmers who actually are practicing a lot of softwares right now using artificial intelligence and all this stuff. So when it comes to content writing, let's pick that as an example. So suppose you're going for a job as a content writer, right? Once you know what is the job role, what is the description, what is the job objective, right? What do they want you to do? Write articles, write an article a day, a blog post a day, or write for your social media descriptions, or maybe you want to write for a WordPress blog, or you want to write, you want to create graphics and have social media different kind of posts, descriptions, lines over there, right? So it all depends on what you want to do. So maybe that is your job objective, or maybe your job objective is to actually manage your team who is into social media and digital marketing. So it depends what you want to do. It depends. So it depends also on the company's standpoint on what that role signifies. That role signifies you to do content writing, do content writing. That role signifies you to motivate a team, motivate a team. That role signifies you to actually play boss, or manage an entire team, manage the team. Or that role in fact signifies you to write lots of articles a day through artificial intelligence. Do that. That all depends on what you need to do. So know the job very well. So in fact, the sixth step is smell like success. So what you're going to smell like success, that's exactly what I'm going to tell you. This is not a jargon I'm talking about. This is your perfume that you have in your pocket, right? So I'm not talking about use a particular perfume. I'm not marketing any kind of perfumes. But make sure that you don't, apply or spray too much. And it may distract the crowd, right? So suppose, imagine if you have a lot of perfume out there, correct, and it fills the entire room for that matter. Imagine what the interviewer is going to do. He is going to answer your questions, or he is going to smell your perfume for 1 hour, right? So it all depends on the kind of not the kind of perfume. It all depends on the kind of the smell of success you bring to the room, right? What is the smell of success you bring to the room? Very easy, guys. Don't apply perfume before going to a job interview. Just have those say the kind of soap you use also matters. Okay, the kind of soap you use, that is a different this one, because some soap have great fragrance, right? So typically what my students used to do is they used to have these fragrance kind of soap, right? Maybe men or ladies, right? And they just have that, because perfume also is not some people say it's bad for health and all this stuff, but that is a different question, right? So don't apply too much also is the kind of the key, right? So if you apply too much, it will smell the entire room, and the interviewer is not going to actually concentrate on yourself, right? That is also what I'm going to talk about, right? Be on time. That's the 7th point. Always be on time, right? Suppose imagine if the clock ticks before or after. Before, in the sense, if you be too early to the interview, that's also a damn thing. If you're too early, you'll have to wait in the lobby, correct? And then they can make you wait a long time. It depends. If you're too late, you're going to miss the interview. Simple as that. You're going to miss the interview. Or maybe you have 2 or 3 candidates in the same lobby. If you're late, maybe they'll attend the interview, maybe they'll qualify, maybe they're going to get the job and you lose the job. So it all matters. Be on time. Punctuality is ultimately vital and important in this regard, right? So the more punctual you are, the better the opportunities you are going to get, right? That is what legend Srinidhi Ranganathan says. So always be on time. That is what I'm going to tell you in this particular video, right? Okay, so the next 8th point is smile pleasingly, right? So what happens here is typically if suppose the guy has offered you the job, right? He says he gives you the paper, he has filled the sheet for his senior that you are appointed. Okay, he gives you the paper and he says you are appointed and all this stuff. So at that time you can't get up and say, oh wow, I'm appointed. No, please don't do that. Just when make sure you don't have chewing gum in your mouth for that matter, right? That's going to pop out. So always make sure that even whatever happens, don't show your emotions in the interview, right? Whether you are you're actually selected, or maybe you're not selected. Maybe if you're not selected, okay, we'll let you know, they'll say, and you'll be like, okay. That also should not be shown, because maybe they have selected you, maybe they are waiting for some more candidates to actually come in and then take a call and then decide on what or who matters the most, right? So it depends. So smile pleasingly, whatever the outcome is, smile pleasingly. That is your ultimate mantra. Okay, dress professionally, right? The first thing is have a shave before you go to the interview. Don't be like this. But typically what happens is it depends on your style, or it also depends on the kind of the thoughts that you have. So typically even I have seen a lot of people who have this long beard and still attending the interview. But anyways, that is up to you to decide what you can do, correct? But one more thing is neat clothes that you got to wear, neat dress, right? And you got to actually do a great hairstyle that you can, and you're also going to be clean and neat, and you're going to actually iron your clothes, and you're going to do everything on your own. And so this also reflects a personality of yourselves, and neatly, and the watch that you got to wear should be really intact, right? And the time, I already told you about the punctuality that you have to adhere to. And one more thing, that is you got to fit with the company's say brand. For example, I'll tell you how. Suppose do something different. That also matters the most. Suppose you're attending interview on, say, a cloth company or something like that, right? You are attending an interview. You are appointed as a marketing specialist in a clothes company that sells clothes. online through e-commerce. Suppose if it is like something like Vistaprint or something like that, vistaprint.com. So what if you order a customized printed t-shirt? Example, I'm not talking about all the jobs. This doesn't work. This works only for e-commerce companies that sell personalized goods. What if you say, what if you put the company's brand name and then walk into the interview stage, right? And then you say, then you will find that the person who is interviewing you will find that you are a fan of that particular company. So that also, it doesn't work all the time. It works on rare cases. If you're attending an interview at Vistaprint or something like that, very rare case. If you have the company brand name before joining the company, so then you are different, right? So that means if you have 8 apples, one apple is green, right? That the eye goes to the green one, right? That's how it's going to work, right? So always dress professionally and cut your nails, do everything that you can. Don't wear glasses, cooling glasses or something like that. Please don't do that for the interview. Always be great that you can, and the hairstyle should be great, and it should look classy, professional and great, right? So that's what you gotta do, right? Yeah, that's how it is. So the 10th point, we come to the 10th point. If you cross this level, I think you are a great, say a student or entrepreneur who wants to achieve success, right? Through interviews. Make eye contact, right? You got to make eye contact to the interviewer, right? Suppose you look down like this, or you look at the top, or you have this, hand like this in this position, right? Something like this. It seems that you are not confident. It seems that you are lying, or it seems that you are hiding something from the interviewer, right? So that all should not happen. Make direct eye contact. Show your confidence through the eye contact itself, right? The interviewer will find that you are very confident because you are having a direct eye contact with that particular person, right? And he or she is going to appoint you based on the not only your talents, right? Based on the confidence, based on the positive outlook that you have, and everything matters in the eyes, right? See, I'm not talking about the kind of eye contact you need to make, like just sitting over here and directly looking at them 24/7. I mean, like looking at them throughout the interview. Nothing like that. Just make sure you're natural, right? Make sure all this goes in a particular smooth way, right? It's not like just you have to stare, nothing like that. Just make sure that you look at the interviewer, look aside or somewhere else, and then look at the interviewer again. When he speaks, just point eye contact should be maintained. That is what I'm going to, that is what I've told you here. Okay, so express a genuine interest and have a positive attitude, right? So positive attitude is going to be a part of this video. So the more positive attitude you have about getting the job, the more success that you're going to find. Simple as that, right? Suppose you feel that you will not get the job, and you go with a negative attitude in mind that you're not going to face it, you're not going to get it, you're not going to ace the interview, you're not going to pass the interview, you're not going to work, you will definitely fail. But if you have the energy in you that says, if you have the confidence in you, if you have the the words that flow in your mind that says you can do it, you'll be able to achieve it, you'll be able to ace it, you'll be able to find success, you'll be able to change your career, you'll be able to be a game changer, then that is the only positive attitude that's going to work for you, right? So typically always think positively and go ahead, shake that nervousness off and go and attend the interview. Then you'll be able to realize with the positive attitude you can change the lives of not only yourself, of the colleagues around you, of the entire company, of the entire organization. Positive attitude matters. 12th point is sell yourself, right? You're going to sell yourself. See, resume will not be able to speak a lot of things, right? What all is not covered as part of the resume, that is where your actual talent showcases there, right? So suppose, right, you have everything in your resume, like you have a 15-page resume or 20-page resume, and you don't show any kind of talents that is not in your resume, right? You show all your talents in your resume, then it's not going to work. Also, if you're not showing any talents which is not in your resume, also it's not going to work. Always think different, right? If your resume contains say 5 points, sixth point, explain in kind of a conversation that you have with your interviewer, right? So for example, you're good at playing football or something like that, and it is not in your resume, and you're gone to say the state championship. Explain that and say you love football. Simple as that, right? So just explain to the interviewer, I also do extracurricular activities, I'm interested in this particular hobby, apart from my corporate work, I also do this, right? You play chess, right? Example. And just explain to the interviewer that you also have the kind of logic, you also have that kind of talent to play chess, right? And you are beaten a lot of your competition and all this stuff. Just explain that, right? So always try to sell yourself, right, in a different way that is not in your resume. Okay, so the 13th point, you come a long way, guys. Ask related important questions, right? You got to ask related important questions. You cannot deviate from the topic, right? Suppose if the interviewer is talking about, say, where were you, why you didn't go to a job in the year 2018 in the month of July, then you have to say something related to it. I didn't go to a job because of this reason. Instead of that, you can't deviate from the topic and say something like, studies. I'm a studious learner, right? I study a lot of things. That is a deviation of the complete topic. The interviewer had asked you why you didn't attend or go to a job in this particular month. You talked about studies, right? That should not happen. Don't deviate from the topic, right? And always ask important questions. The important questions you can jot down, you can memorize, do whatever you want, but ask a kind of important questions. For example, you are attending an interview and they say, they ask you a few questions themselves. Then they say, okay, you have any questions? Then you ask, right, what is the pay scale, when it's going to be increased, correct? And what is my salary, how it's going to change? Do you have working hours in the night times? Do you have night shifts, right? What kind of my colleagues that I'll be able to face in my day-to-day office corporate lives? You ask all those kind of questions. Do you have a canteen? Sometimes my students ask, do you have a canteen, right? They're all good eaters, not hard eaters, good eaters. They ask that question because night times when they stay, right, they should have a good amount of good food, right? That also matters, right? Or do you have a cab facility? All that stuff. Ask important questions that you can ask. Don't then you should not come home and say, I didn't ask this, I didn't ask that, right? That doubt should not be in your mind later on. So, right, 14th, speak as if you have the job, right, guys? So say I will, say I would, right? So once you it is like kind of the positive attitude itself, right? But when you typically speak about you already have the job, speak in the future tense. That is what if as an English teacher I'll say future tense, right? So speak like this, okay, I'll be doing this work, then what kind of a work I'll be doing? Speak like that. Don't say don't ask something like what are the roles and what is the kind of jobs that I'll be handling. No, I'll be doing this, what I'll be doing next, right? I'll be handling this, what I'll be handling next, right? And my team members every day would be good with me, would be they would be able to help me out in my projects, right? I'll be able to lead them, right? Ask futuristic stuff, right? Talk about futuristic stuff, right? Ask futuristic questions. Do you have so I know that there'll be typically ideas that will be shared in the company. Do you have an idea box where I can put the ideas? Because typically I put it on Friday, so Fridays you can go and put the ideas in the idea box, right? Ask questions like that. right? That is what you gotta do, right? Speak in the future tense, right? Futuristic stuff is there within you. Why you are, succumbing all that inside you? That should not happen, right? The future is artificial intelligence. And suppose, imagine, one more thing I want to tell is, what if a robot could interview you, right? We'll be talking about all that in a different course, but in fact, you will come to the stage where robots will be interviewing you guys. That stage will come, then you'll understand this power. The 15th, almost there. You're in a ship. You are just crossing, the ocean, and you're going to and you're going to hit the shore. Okay, you're not going to sink like the Titanic. Don't worry, right? So the 15th point is, play up your strengths, right, and ignore the weakness, right? So whatever strengths you have, you're a positive minded individual, right? You can do this, you can do smart work, you can do hard work, you can finish this task extremely quick, right? You'll be able to achieve this, right? You have say enthusiastic attitude, right? You have creativity that can change the world, right? You have a positive outlook about life, which I told you. I'm just speaking this in reverse. And you also can team up with your colleagues to create new ideas that you will brainstorm every day. All this, play up to your strengths. But weaknesses, speak about the weakness, ignore it, right? Suppose your weakness is you'll get anger, you'll be totally angry when people confuse you, or you'll be totally angry when people will actually criticize you. Everybody does that, right? Ignore that. Don't talk about it in the interview. Don't do that, right? Always use the strengths to sell yourself. Never ever go ahead and talk about your weakness in the interview. That is what I'm going to tell you here. Okay, so the last point, 16th point, right? The shore is there, you're getting down from the ship. 16th, follow up consistently. Suppose the interviewer has told, right, we'll get back to you guys, we'll get back to you. You're going home, right, with the intention or with the thought that, will he ever get back to me? Or what should I do? Then within 1 or 2 days, never drop that idea, right? Always go ahead, pick your phone, call that particular HR consultant or your interviewer, right, who has interviewed you typically, and or some contact person might be there whom you can call. Ask him, what is the status, what is the status, or what are they talking about. Then just say, hello, I've attended this interview, may I know what is the next steps. Simple as that. Always try to follow up. If suppose they're not picking the call or something like that, send them an email, right, regarding the status of your interview. This happens in big companies like MNCs, right? It takes a lot of time to process the information. Candidates may get hired. Sometimes it takes a lot of time delay time for this to happen. But never lose your confidence. At any point of time, you cannot ever even lose your confidence. Always follow up, right? Follow up consistently. That is this point that I'm able to tell you about, right? So always also thank him or her for the opportunity. Don't forget that. Thanks. Finally, this course is about to end, and it is ending in less than 2 minutes right now. So I hope you enjoyed this particular course about acing your job interview, right? And typically, see, I have seen students who are following these tips from me, right, who are attending interviews and acing those interviews, right? I'm not able to tell you that it's true success. You'll find success only in this course, nothing like that. But I assure you, if you are very confident and if you implement even one step, need not be 2 or 3 steps, one step from this course, and you'll be able to achieve the stuff which nobody ever could achieve, right? But one step, don't forget, passion will take you places, right? So at that point of time, you will understand. Once you clear your interview, you get a job, you're there going to the the first day you go visit your office, you sit there in the cabin, right, and you open your computer. At that point of time, that kind of happiness you're going to get, right? Never ever that is going to come to any person in the world, right? Because that's when you know, oh my god, this is my first job, right? That is going to completely change your world, your parents' world, your relatives' world, your colleagues' world, or whatever it is, right? So that's what I'm able to tell you completely in this mind-blowing course. Don't forget to take other courses from me, by the way, right? And always implement. Practice makes a man perfect. It's going to completely make you perfect. This is Srinidhi Ranganathan signing off.
Just to show you the Owler one, right? So head over to Owler, OWLER.com, right? And suppose you're going to a job interview, right? Before that, just make sure you search the company. For example, you're going to a job interview at Dell. Just search for Dell at Owler.com. And once you do that, you'll be able to see the complete overview of Dell. Correct? Is it a good estimate? And then you'll have trending news for Dell's competitors, all the news that you can figure out here. Then you have the competitive analysis, right? Alternatives to Dell, right? HP, Lenovo, IBM, alternate companies. You can figure out the total revenue that Dell is getting, the total funding that it has, the employees it has, the CEO score, which calculates for the CEO, leadership, who is heading Dell, and what are the next companies in line. HP is next, Lenovo is next, IBM is next in the line, Apple is there as a competitor, which is a much more high-end competitor or whatever it is. So like that you can figure out many technologies, and you'll be able to also figure out about the acquisitions, whether Dell has acquired something new or something like that, some kind of company. You can figure out that here. And investments, you can figure out whether they have invested in some technology, or they invested in DocuSign and Blackboard. Like that you can figure that out. And Dell news you can read here, right? What are the top news that you have, and Dell blogs that you can actually see here, right? And press releases, what are the press releases that's there in store, and Dell videos that you can watch on YouTube, and the social statistics, how many Twitter followers, how many Facebook followers, what are the headquarters, where is the headquarters, summary of Dell, frequently asked questions about Dell, when was it founded, who's Dell CEO, how much revenue does Dell generate, how much funding does Dell have, where is Dell's headquarters, how many employees does Dell have, what sector does Dell operate in, who are Dell's competitors, and who has Dell invested in. Now all this stuff you'll be able to figure out. Correct? In Owler.com, you can search the companies, and you can also navigate to the different panes here, and that is Owler. And I was talking to you about BuiltWith, right? BuiltWith.com, right? BuiltWith is, for example, you can figure out what website technologies they're using. So I go to builtwith.com and I figure out that they're using demand-based analytics and tracking, Bazaar Voice for this, and T-Leaf for figuring out the customer experiences, Adobe, Everest Technologies. These are the technologies that Dell is using. So you'll be able to figure that out. Widgets, and then you have languages, and you have frameworks, and you have content delivery network that they use. Right, so that is all about BuiltWith, and also one more thing I want to talk to you about is SimilarWeb, SIMALAR.com, and SimilarWeb will help you to actually figure out, if I take HP as an example, HP.com, correct? And it'll help you to figure out, what are the traffic, the global rank, the year HP was founded, the headquarters, category rank, country rank, and the traffic overview that they get for their website, right? Just give me a minute as it will, it's going to load, correct? And once this completely loads here, you'll be able to figure out stuff. It has to load. Just give me a minute. Let me just once again go ahead and refresh the page for it to load, right? Yeah, so yeah, that's you'll be able to find out the total visits, average visit duration, the pages per visit, the bounce rate. You can figure out the total traffic that they have got, right, in the month of October, September, August 2019. Traffic by countries: US ranks the most, China is second, India is third, Germany is fourth, UK is fifth. And traffic sources, like say search through Google, the search engines, organic, that they're coming. Direct traffic is somebody types in hp.com, that's direct traffic. Referral traffic is something like some website has referred hp.com. Social is like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Quora, stumble upon kind of traffic. I mean, mix, that is called right now. Mail.com, through email campaigns, the traffic. And display ads, right, the banner advertising, right, that's how they got the traffic. And the kind of referral sites are mentioned here. The search traffic is here. The paid traffic, the paid keywords for Google AdWords is here. Social traffic, they get a lot of YouTube traffic. Second is Facebook, third is WhatsApp, fourth is LinkedIn, fifth is Twitter, hp.com, right? And display advertising, the top ad networks, the top audience interests, and then you have competitors and similar sites. Then they have apps, right? They have a Google Play Store app and they have an App Store app, and all this stuff and more insights are in Pro. So all this stuff you can figure out through similarweb.com. Make sure you do that before you actually go and attend an interview. Figure out what are the traffic, what are the technologies that they're using, and then decide. Then the last but not the least, Glassdoor reviews. You check, suppose you're going to Lenovo, right? Check the glassdoor.com reviews for Lenovo, and then you can do that, and you can go ahead and check that. And you can figure out what is the kind of company. This seems to be very good, so just check the reviews. Glassdoor reviews, they have 1.8k reviews for Lenovo, 1.3k jobs. This is the salary range, the packages that typically they get. If you sign up to Glassdoor, you can figure out what are the packages that typically the people get: 280 interviews, benefits, and photos. So make sure you figure out the jobs also here. You can apply for the jobs here, correct? So that's how this all works. Figure out the Glassdoor, that you can, and then shoot yourself ahead to the interview, right? These are the practical tips that I've added as a bonus video here.